Japanese developer and publisher Irem has a degree that sits beside giants like Konami and Capcom. Their early arcade releases helped shape Japan's gaming history, and the R-Type series still tops modern gaming lists. Digging through their back catalog is like flipping through gaming archaeology, wave after wave of innovative shooters and action titles that collectors swear by. Many of their bigger releases are already on modern storefronts, yet over the years, Irem has been curating themed bundles so newcomers can experience the deeper cuts. Volume 1 resurfaced Image Fight, Volume 2 unleashed the Gun Force duology, and now Irem Collection Volume 3 dives even further into the archives. You see, Volume 3 bundles Mystic Riders, Dragon Breed, and Mr. Heli. Each game appears in both Japanese and international versions. Mr. Heli has long been a fan favorite, so its inclusion is a headline by itself. Even better though, In Games has snuck in a PC Engine port, giving console historians a faithful way to compare arcade muscle and home hardware charm without juggling multiple devices, or burning through too many quarters. So let's see what this collection offers. If you've played either of the previous collections, you already know what to expect from the moment you boot up Irem Collection Volume 3. The menu of the game is simple yet clear, offering casual or classic rules for every title, quick save slots, a handy rewind, rebindable controls, and basic video filters. Everything performs smoothly, and input latency feels negligible on handheld and dock setups. A built-in cheat list does round out the extras, and with these games being decidedly old school and punishing, the infinite lives toggle can save first-time players from despair while still letting veterans prove their mettle. Mr. Heli is a side-scrolling shooter that stops pretending it only wants you to move right and blast stuff. Instead, its cute mascot Chopper can hover and dig through debris to uncover coins and hidden power-ups. The pastel presentation might feel disarming, but enemy placement is relentless, and the economy system asks you to farm cash for upgrades if you hope to survive the back half of the campaign. If you're thinking fantasy zone with more exploration, you're on the right track. Once the pacing clicks, the blend of run-and-gun tension and treasure hunt downtime makes this cult classic easy to enjoy. The included PC Engine port swaps out some sprites and tunes, yet still captures the arcade spirit with admirable fidelity. I will say though that Mystic Riders happens to be the breakout star of this package. Shooter fans often champion the Cotton series, yet Mystic Rider arguably does everything Con attempts with sharper design. The game explodes with color. Sprites animate like a late-night cartoon, and background flourishes pop without obscuring bullets or power-up drop-ins. It also thinks beyond pure projectile spam. Enemy patterns demand timing and spatial awareness, while bosses mix screen-filling spectacle with gimmicks that reward observation over brute force. Your broom is able to fire elemental shots in front, launch a huge magic blast, or spin like a melee wrecking ball, and each move has a clear tactical niche. Top it off with a thumping bass-heavy soundtrack, and you have a shooter that begs to live in your permanent rotation. Moving on to Dragon Breed, this is the collection's wildcard. Irem were never content with copy and paste shooter templates, and Dragon Breed pushes that philosophy to the extreme. You ride on an enormous dragon that shrugs off most of the bullet patterns. The rider in this case is the true hitbox, so it's possible to weave through danger while letting your scaly mount body check foes. That honestly feels empowering in a way that few shooters dare. Both rider and dragon spit elemental shots, yet ramming enemies is often safer and frankly cooler to do. The difficulty does curve in the late game, but thoughtful use of the dragon's invulnerability body lets committed players bulldoze sections that would be brick walls in a traditional shmup. It is a very experimental design that feels fun even decades later. Grouped together, these three games highlight why classic Irem craftsmanship matters. Each title finds its own angle, whether that means resurface farming, melee options, or turning the player into a literal screen-filling dragon. In an era where countless indie shooters chase bullet hell excess on Steam and the eShop, Volume 3 reminds everyone that well-paced enemy script and imaginative level hazards will always outshine curtains of neon pellets. Still, this compilation isn't flawless. Presentation is functional rather than lavish, and the long-time preservation may wish for a broader museum mode packed with design documents, scans, or even short developer interviews. Packaging only 3 games per release also makes the library trickle out piecemeal, which makes the experience a little repetitive if you buy each volume at launch. Still, the software itself is where it counts, and on the front of Volume 3, it delivers. All 3 titles feel crisp on modern displays, and control options are flexible, with performance never really causing an issue. Irem Collection Volume 3 is both a history lesson and a weekend time sink. It spotlights an era where Japanese developers were free to chase strange ideas for the sheer thrill of it, and most of those gambles actually managed to pay off. For arcade veterans, this is a comfortable homecoming. For newcomers, it's a crash course in why shooters once ruled the coin-op scene. Either way, it's hard to argue with the craft on display. If you already grabbed Volume 1 and 2, this is another easy purchase. However, if you're new to the series, Volume 3 might be the best starting point thanks to the variety that it offers. Mystic Riders alone justifies the download, and the bonus PC Engine edition of Mr. Heli sweetens the deal a bit. Slip on some headphones, tap the rewind button when the action gets hairy, and get to know these classics. Noisy Pixel is giving Irem Collection Volume 3 a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. This video is made possible by our subscribers on Patreon. Noisy Pixel is run by a group of gamers providing independent gaming coverage through news, reviews, previews, and more. Check out our Patreon to help support our continued growth, and subscribe to keep up with all our future content.
Noisy Pixel.